Drew and I met his brother Tristan. They were very nice to me. We had a fun time. The reason that there's a rumor online that we hooked up or we slept together or something. That didn't happen. I've told people that numerous times.
I hesitate to talk about Andrew Tate because I don't know that much about him. But I'll tell you what I know and what I think, and people can take it for what it's worth. I mean, the first question is, why is he so popular? And the answer is, well, if you have to choose between being depressed and anxious and laying downstairs and covering yourself with Cheeto dust and looking at pornography and being timid and never going out, or, you know, listening to someone like Andrew Tate who says, like, get the hell out there and take the world, that's better. That's the shadow, right? Speaking in some ways, right? Like if you're naive and timid and anxious and intimidated and useless and resentful, there's going to be a bit of a monster that needs to call to you to say, gird up your loins and get the hell out there in the world. And so it's better to be a monster than a rabbit in some ways, right? Or at least there's some utility in the more monstrous predatory path that isn't there in the pathetic rabbit path. And that's partly because if you are a pathetic rabbit, you're going to become a predator anyways. You're just going to become a dark, backdoor, backbiting, gossip-mongering, resentful monster.
Society's also pushing that on men in
yes,
particular.
Constantly.
Like, be
well, and
weak.
I knew, look, I knew, and I warned people repeatedly that if the culture kept emasculating men, that men who said, to hell with that, I'd rather be a monster, would become extremely popular. Now, and Andrew Tate is emblematic of that in many ways, because the first thing you got to say about him is that he's genuinely tough, right? So that's not a front. That's not a front. He's a fighter. You can't take the courageous element of being a fighter away from someone who will actually step in the ring, right? And so now you said Tate's intelligent, and what that means as well is that some of the things he says are going to be of value. Now, why he says those, that's a whole different issue. The thing that disturbs me is that, like, I'm not very fond of the whole online porn thing in any way.